The first thing I saw when I picked up my phone was the lock screen. My own photo of my wife smiling at the beach, but the passcode screen beneath it was wrong. The numbers were jumbled. Not the pattern I always used. My stomach tightened before my brain caught up. I didn't lock it, I said, mostly to myself. The waitress stood beside the table, holding the tray against her hip, eyes fixed on the floor like she was counting the tiles. Sir, someone asked me to. Someone. Just minutes earlier, we'd been laughing over dessert. My parents, my sister, my wife Sarah. I'd gotten up to use the restroom, leaving my phone face down beside my plate. Nothing dramatic. Just life. Now the air felt heavy, like the room had shrunk. Who asked you? I said. She hesitated. That pause was small, but it cracked something open inside me. Your wife, she finally said. She said it was important. I looked at Sarah. She didn't look back. Her hands were folded too neatly in her lap, knuckles white. For a moment, no one spoke. The clink of dishes from another table sounded miles away. Why? I asked, my voice quieter than I expected. Sarah swallowed. Can we talk at home? That was the moment. Not the locked phone. Not the waitress. That sentence. Because people who have nothing to hide don't delay the truth. On the drive home, memories started replaying themselves with new colors. Missed calls, she said, were spam. Messages, she said, were from work. Nights she turned her phone face down and smiled at nothing. I had laughed it off, told myself I was paranoid, told myself love meant trust. At home, she went straight to the kitchen, like routine could protect her. I stood in the hallway, phone in hand, trying the passcode. It worked on the third try. Not my pattern. Hers. The first message was already open. I almost got caught tonight. My hands started shaking. I scrolled. Weeks of messages. Months. A man named Daniel. Someone from her gym. Plans disguised as errands. Complaints about me. How predictable I was. How I didn't see her anymore. Compliments from him that made my chest burn. Things she'd never said to me. I sat on the couch, the phone heavy like a brick. Sarah stood in the doorway, tears already forming, as if she'd rehearsed them. How long? I asked. She shook her head. It wasn't supposed to happen. That wasn't an answer. How long? 8 months, she whispered. 8 months. In that time, we'd celebrated our anniversary. I'd held her when her aunt died. We'd talked about repainting the bedroom. All of it suddenly felt fake, like props on a stage. I asked the waitress to lock it because Daniel texted, she said, words spilling now. I panicked. I was scared you'd see. You mean scared I'd know, I said. She cried then, real crying, I think. She talked about feeling invisible, about routine, about mistakes. I listened, but it was like hearing a language I didn't speak anymore. Every excuse landed wrong. What hurts the most, I said slowly, is that I trusted you so completely I didn't even protect myself. She reached for me. I stepped back. That night, I slept on the couch. I stared at the ceiling until morning, replaying every moment I'd ignored. Love doesn't disappear instantly. It frays. It tears. It leaves threads behind that cut when you touch them. We talked for days after that. Counseling. Apologies. Promises. She ended it with him. Or said she did. I wanted to believe her. I almost did. But trust isn't something you can force back into place. A month later, I moved out. Quietly. No shouting. Just boxes and a key left on the counter. She cried again. I didn't. Now, when I think about that dinner, it's not the betrayal that hurts the most. It's how ordinary it all was. How close I was to never knowing. How easily love can coexist with lies. I'm rebuilding. Slowly. Learning that self-respect sometimes means walking away, even when your heart begs you to stay. And every time I set my phone down now, I make sure it's locked, because some lessons stay with you, long after the screen goes dark.